Today's event aims at underscoring the underlying unity of all faiths and emphasize upon the need for harmonious living in the society, not only by tolerating the existence of different faiths, but accepting the validity of each of them, for every religion is the path to the same goal. I now invite Mr. Soor to deliver the opening address for this evening.
The Satya Sai Seva organization is not a religious organization. It's a spiritual organization based on the teachings of our master Sri Satya Sai Baba. He told us, let all the faiths flourish so that a Hindu becomes a better Hindu, a Christian a better Christian, a Muslim a better Muslim. And what is better? He explained that also. Who is a good man? Good man, we think somebody who prays 5 times a day, he is a good man. Or somebody who goes to the temple every day is a good man. Or sometimes who regularly attends mass in the church is a good man. Sri Satya Sai Baba said, no. He is a good man whose words, thoughts and deed are in harmony. Now, do we have that? If what we thought we said and what we say we did, then there will be no disharmony in this world. And this, he said, is unity of words, thoughts and deeds. This unity we have to now endeavor to make pure, so that we can go from unity to purity. And what is purity? Purity, what is a pure thought? Don't think of anything which will harm somebody. Don't think of anything that will bring sorrow to somebody. Don't speak anything which will hurt somebody's feelings. So Satya Sai Baba told us, you start off by doing pure deeds. Do work which will do good for others. And the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization, we have many activities. And the activities are all pure in the sense that I don't know how much good they do to others, but they do not harm anybody. And that is the starting of doing pure deeds. And once pure deed starts, then through time our words become pure and our thoughts become pure. And once we have this unity of pure thoughts, pure words and pure deeds, then we do not have to go after divinity, divinity automatically comes. So the sole purpose of this organization, ladies and gentlemen, is we who are members, we join this organization to become good. That is the sole purpose.
ఆత్మస్వరూపులారా అందరికీ నా నమస్కారం. I am sure you must be wondering what I said. This is how Baba always starts his speech in Telugu. Atmaswarupulara. That means blissful souls gathered here. I am daughter-in-law of Puttaparthi. My husband comes from Puttaparthi. You may be wondering, I did not address the distinguished guests. I said Atmaswarupulara. That is every one of you. All of us are Baba's children here. So there is no big or small, no VVIP, VIP. We are all just the children of Baba. And we share the same feelings, we breathe the same air, we drink the same water, and our feelings are same, directed towards him, that is Baba. Baba always said, Prema, Prema, Prema. This is the word he always used to say. This is the one word which keeps mankind together and makes each one of us have a strong relation with the other. Our beloved President was talking about how do you become a good person. To become a good person, he was explaining that one has to follow Trikarana Shuddhi. Trikarana Shuddhi is nothing but good thoughts, good speak, and what you speak and think has to be in action. Trikarana, three means three. So all the process, thinking, speaking, action, all the three must synchronize and they must be the same. You can't think one inside and speak something and do something else. Then there is no synchronization. The things goes different ways and it can't be the good personality. Satya Sai never said that there is only one religion or that being an Indian you are great. He said having a human form itself is a great boon given by God. I still remember when I was in 1973, I just completed my BA. I was attending a conference at Anantapur at the time of Women's College inauguration. First time Women's College was inaugurated by Baba for the women at Anantapur. Then he was speaking about several aspects. Baba was saying that it's very easy to be united, that's just sharing the love. And he was also making joke, and because this is a Kali Yuga, even if Rama and Krishna comes and appears in front of you and say, I am Krishna, you will say, Ego, who will believe? You are fooling us. That is Kali Yuga. So, to make the people understand in this Kali Yuga, these Avatara Purushas are born. We come across many gurus like that, and Baba is the one whom we have seen and heard. What made Baba so great and why people from every other country did love Baba? It is the peace message he gave and the love he showed for the mankind. Why did Baba do so many things? Why did Baba think of giving water facilities? Entire Bukkapatnam, that is Puttaparthi, now it is Puttaparthi Taluk, entire Puttaparthi did not have water. People used to walk 10 kilometers having one pot on the head, ladies, to get drinking water. Now, who has to do this job? Why did Baba do? Baba could have just sat in meditation. No. He believed in Manava Seva being Madhava Seva. Serving the mankind is serving the God. This he truly believed and showed. And because of the water project, entire Anantapur district doesn't have drinking water problem till date. It's all the blessings of Baba. Those ladies must have been very fortunate to have a person, to have a guru, to have a Avatara Purusha like Baba to get this blessing. And look at the hospital. Why he had to spend so much money for establishment of hospital? There is no difference between a rich man or a poor man, a famous person or some person on the street, whether it's a beggar or a rich man, the treatment is the same. The only priority is who has to be attended first. The ill health or the illness or the emergency, who has to be seen first. That is the only criteria with which the hospital at Puttaparthi is run. Look at the university he has made, and even in the Whitefield. Why he has made these things is only to spread the message that through Manava Seva, you are doing Madhava Seva. And organizations, Satya Sai organizations are expected to do these things. Baba is looking at us. Baba is with us. Baba is guiding us. He is walking with us. He is breathing along with us. He is in our respiration, Uchvasa Nisvasa. You call that. He is within that. If he is there with you, if you all think that you are real devotees of Baba, what should we do? How do we exhibit that commitment, devotion, and be purposeful, being a purposeful devotee of Baba? What is that purposiveness? Whatever Baba did, you need not construct a hospital, you need not construct a water project, but if your neighbor, next door man, or any person whom you come across is in some trouble, if you can give your assistance and give a helping hand, that's how you prove yourself to be a true devotee of Baba. This is the message he always gave. Share the love, share the affection. Show your courtesy, give your love and affection. There is nothing more valuable than love and affection. There is nothing worth on this earth except the love and affection. By sharing love and affection, you can console other soul. You can also wipe the tears, and you can give confidence, you can give courage. You can boost the morale in the other person by with your smile, love and affection. This is all I would like to share with all of you. Thank you very much.
The emphasis on the discussions this evening will obviously be on the segment of right living in society. If I did not say that I'm really humbled by being invited to this particular function. And I say this primarily because I do not have, I'm not from the category of a scholar or an exponent in theology. I'm a seeker. I go by the two important quotations. The first is, we have recently learned how to fly in the air like a bird. to swim under the ocean like a fish. Teach us, O Lord, how to walk on earth like human beings, and the dignity to work together, to live together, and to share life's experience, not only amongst ourselves, but for the generations to follow. It is also my prayer to God to give me a strength that I carry a heart that never hates, a tongue that never hurts, a touch that never wounds, and indeed a smile that never fades, and a body that is dedicated to the service of others. This is what Sai Baba has taught us. Coming on to the Interfaith Organization very quickly, I'd like to say that it owes its genesis to the 19th century. But over passage of time, we have seen that possibly it has not delivered what it had aimed to achieve. And in fact, this is evident from the fact that in the last 3,500 years, according to a Christian perspective, 14,500 wars and conflicts have been fought, 3.6 billion people have perished. An ocean of blood has been created in the name of religion, and warmongering ships of religion and politics and terrorism go sailing unabated in these waters. So it may be possible to conclude that the way and the orientations that we had given to these interfaith organizations may have to some degree outlived their utility. And I'm very happy to say that the panel over here this evening are the most learned in this field, and the people who do believe that the greatest service to God is by coexisting. And they also do believe that no single religion has the exclusivity to the path of God, just as much as they believe that no single religion can ever dominate the world. There will be multiple religions, and the best formula is to be able to be together. Actually, religion as has been practiced now, particularly from the 20th century, is really what the preachers have told us and who have not encouraged questioning. What we need to understand that the purpose of religion is that the followers must understand what is written and find and extract from it the sublime characteristic which will give you peace, harmony, and eventually liberation. The Buddhists have put this across extremely well. In their articulation, they say that the purpose of religion is to promote love, compassion, tolerance, forgiveness, and humility. And the Jews, that the chief rabbi will support me, have said that no one's hatred can ever curtail your capacity and ability to love unless you become a prey and begin to hate someone else. Finally, before I ask the panelists to come and speak, may I say that as mankind grows in consciousness, the old perceptions and perspectives of religion have to be changed in accordance with the changing of wisdom and consciousness in the human being, and each one has to begin to be more accommodating. Without further ado, I would now request Archbishop to kindly come and address us. Thank you. The students are here they are going to pose the questions which we would like to address ourselves during the panel discussion.
My question is, today we are in the center of crossroads, totally confused due to peer pressure and material comforts. We also expect instant solutions from spiritual practices. How to come out of this confusion and how to get instant solutions from spiritual practices? Thank you.
Whatever is being spoken on spirituality or religion is fine. Intellectually we may accept, but in today's world where corruption is the way of life, is it not difficult to practice what we preach on values, morality, etc.? Thank you.
Do you think that the increasing role of technology is playing a part in the dwindling of the importance of religion among the youth? Thank you.
My question to you is that becoming an atheist is being a fashion among today's youth. What are your views? Thank you.
My question is, if we lead our lives in a righteous manner, what ultimately we will gain? Thank you.
In today's world, we find clashes among different faiths. Can spirituality be the solution? Thank you.
Distinguished guests, young friends, brothers and sisters. First of all, is a very special occasion for me and for the co-panelists here to be present here on this very special day when tributes are being paid to Sri Satya Sai Baba, a person who had the goodness in his heart and the welfare of the others in his heart. And the result is so much of goodness for all. I want to thank the organizers who have given me this occasion to share some of my thoughts, keeping in mind the questions that our young brothers and sisters have posed before us. Let me begin with that eternal desire that is in the human heart, a desire for peace. Mother Teresa of Kolkata always used to give as a visiting card to anyone who visited her a short formula. And she said, "This is my visiting card." On that were written these words: "The fruit of silence is prayer. The fruit of prayer is faith. The fruit of faith is love. The fruit of love is service. And the fruit of service is peace." From silence to prayer to faith to love to service to peace. A very beautiful ladder, as it were, to attain the deepest longing of the human heart, something that the world needs today so much. And how can this be achieved? Are religions against such a desire? Is it possible that for all of us to rise above our individual and even collective differences, even based on religion, and work for that common cause called peace? Dr. Suri, who is present here among us, I think embodies that possibility, I believe. Because that desire that is in him to unite all religions, rather go beyond religious feelings to live what is common to all of us, namely our human life, the humanness in each one of us. That is a solution that will lead eventually to realizing this goal of peace. The spirituality that all religions give us go beyond religious practices. The spirituality, I believe, leads every human being to rise above himself or herself and see what is the best possible way in which one can serve this goal for peace. As Honorable Chief Justice Dr. Chelur said so beautifully, quoting the teachings of Sri Satya Sai Baba, when our thoughts, when our speech, and when our actions are in harmony, correlated in such a way that there is no dichotomy there, then unity, peace is possible. The topic that we are discussing today is unity in diversity, right living in society. One of the best ways in which we can live in harmony in spite of our diversity is, first of all, to realize that we have something common among all of us, and that is that we are human beings. We are human beings with the same feelings, with the same values. When nurtured together, will give rise to a society where unity, peace, and harmony are possible. Treat others as you would like to be treated. Treat others as you would like to be treated by others. That was the teaching of Jesus Christ. In the establishment of peace, in living this unity, this harmony, or in bringing about this goal, it's important for us to treat one another with love, with respect, with affection. That, I believe, is the first step that will take away this dichotomy that exists between what is preached and what is done. When there is unity in our thinking, in our speaking, and in our doing, unity will always be possible among us because we are human beings. When we learn to treat one another with the same respect and love. And to do this, I believe that we have to develop in us what is called conscience. Something of God Himself within us that is telling us time and again what is right and what is wrong. To be sensitive to that inner voice, as we say. God speaking to us. This is right, this is wrong. Do this, don't do this. It's an inner voice telling us constantly. But to hear this, we must have a conscience that is well formed, sensitive conscience, to listen to God's voice and to be sensitive to others, so that in our thoughts, in our words, in our action, we do not hurt anyone, but always do what is right, listening to that inner voice. This formation of conscience is so important, especially as we grow up, as children, as young people, as adults. Then we become instruments of peace. I believe for a happy life, for a contented life, to have this unity in diversity realized, we must always ask the question to oneself, to ourselves, how much can I give to that person, this person in need? What help can I render so that I have the contentment in my heart, at the same time I have served my brother or sister in need? And if we can do this every day and not go to bed without having accomplished at least one good deed a day, I think this unity will be possible, because I said we are all human beings and we are more in common in all religions than our differences. Even our young students who in this modern technological world find a dichotomy between the various things that are available and what they want to do, it is possible that when we have our values right, with the proper use of the means that are at our disposal, we can always serve humanity, we can always serve God, we can always serve our brothers and sisters. May this be the program for all of us, so that having realized this, when our life is ended, we will be able to see Him face to face and hear those words, "Well done, good and faithful servant, come and enjoy this eternal bliss." Thank you.
Hari Om, all of you. My namaskar to all those who are present here. Today's topic is very beautiful, and we have Nice questions from the students too. Unity in diversity. What is most important, which I feel, is having some faith in life. All our reactions to the world depends on the faith which we have within us. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says that every one of us, we have faith. Only thing is our faith differs. But without faith, nobody is there. Even those who say that they are not believers, they believe in something. At least they believe in not believing anything. So we have our faith in us. I feel that there are three important faiths which we should look and think about. One is faith in the world in which we are living. This is a beautiful, vast world which is unimaginable. Different types of beings and different types of things are there in this world. Science is also revealing the mystery and the beauty of this world. So we should have faith in the world. We should have faith in technology. We should have faith in science. And with the help of this faith, we should interact with this world. What is most important is to have right values while interacting with the world. Our religion, our spirituality talks about right values while interacting with the world. Like they say that do unto others what you would like others to do unto you. So with the values of ahimsa, satyam, asteya, aparigraha, brahmacharya, we interact with the world. That will help us to make our life more harmonious. Another very important faith which we should have or we have is faith in the Almighty. We might name our God, different names are there, different forms are there, but there is always this X factor about whom we have this awe. We don't know about Him. We should have that faith in God, because with faith in God itself we can appreciate the value of love, of kindness, of compassion, of generosity, of service, because God connects us all. Just like we have individually, we have different mobiles with us, but they are connected with some server. Similarly, all of us are connected to each other with that Sarveshwara, with God only. So faith in God makes me humble, makes me compassionate. And I feel connected with God when I have prayer in my heart. So with prayer, my faith becomes more firm in God. Then the third and the most important faith which we should have is in ourselves. Swami Vivekananda used to say that even if we have faith in all the 33 crores of gods, but if we don't have faith in ourselves, then it is something lacking, something incomplete. So faith in ourselves and connection with ourselves. Many times we live in this world, move about in this world without knowing, without being with ourselves. And what helps us to be connected to ourselves is silence and meditation. Through meditation, we have to go deeper into ourselves and feel connected. When I am connected with myself, I will feel connected with all. So these are the three important faiths which I feel is common in all the religions of this world. Faith in the world and have the right attitude to interact with the world. Faith in God and have the right prayer in the heart to interact with God. And faith in ourselves and have right meditation to dive deep within ourselves. I am very happy to be here on this wonderful occasion of Sri Satya Sai Baba's 90th birthday we are celebrating, birth year. And I was very happy to see the tremendous work which this organization is doing to bring people of diverse faith and diverse thinking together. On this occasion also, all of us from different faith have come here, sitting together and sharing this one evening with all of you is a wonderful experience. I invoke the blessings of Bhagwan on all of us, that may His grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. Hari Om, and thank you very much.
अब मैं इमाम मोहम्मद शफीक कासमी जो अपने हेड इमाम हैं नकोदा मस्जिद कोलकाता के, उनसे गुजारिश करता हूं जो वो अपने ख्यालात और अहम बातें जो उनके मज़हब के हैं, जो भाईचारा और प्रेम से रहने का है, उस पर ज़रा हमें अपना समा बीते और हमें समझाएं जो किस तरह चलना चाहिए आगे।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। स्टेज पर बैठे हुए साबिक चीफ एयर मार्शल सूरी साहब और हमारे स्वामी जी फादर साहब और हमारे स्वामी जी हैं, रब्बी जी हैं, और जितने भी हमारे साथी हैं, भाई बहन हैं, छोटे बच्चे हैं, स्कूल के बच्चे बच्चियां हैं, आज का ये प्रोग्राम अपनी नौयत का बहुत अहम प्रोग्राम है और इसका मौजू भी, इसका जो टॉपिक्स है ये भी इतना अहम टॉपिक्स है जो पूरी दुनिया में इस टॉपिक्स पे बात होनी चाहिए। और जिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के तहत ये किया जा रहा है, श्री सत्य साई बाबा ट्रस्ट, और जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के जो ज़िम्मेदार हैं जिन्होंने इसको ऑर्गेनाइज़ किया है, कि बहुत अहम चीज़ है। हकीकत में जो हम लोगों ने वीडियो क्लिप देखा श्री सत्य साई बाबा का, जिनका कारनामा मानवता के लिए, इंसानियत के लिए जिन्होंने इतने सारे काम किए हैं, ये बहुत ही अहम काम है। और एक बात मैं बताता चलता हूँ कि एक उसूल है कि इबादत करने से जन्नत मिलता है, लेकिन खिदमत करने से खुदा मिलता है। वो खुदा जो जन्नत का मालिक है वो मिलेगा खिदमत करने से। और सत्य साई बाबा ने ये जो काम किया है, और जो उनके ट्रस्ट और उनके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और उनके जो लोग उनके बाद जो काम को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, ये इंसानियत के लिए बहुत ही अहम काम है। इसकी जितनी भी सराहना की जाए कम है। श्री सत्य साई बाबा का कारनामा देखा है कि उनके कारनामे में सभी धर्मों के लोगों को आज़ादी है कि वो अपनी आज़ादी से अपने ईश्वर की पूजा कर सकते हैं, अपने खुदा की पूजा कर सकते हैं, सब उनको आज़ादी है, लेकिन उन्होंने सबको प्यार किया है। यही उनका जो ये मिशन है, ये मिशन हम लोगों को आगे बढ़ाना है। मोहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम का कौल है, उन्होंने फरमाया, मन सलमल मुस्लिम मिन लिसानिही व यदिही, वो शख्स मुसलमान नहीं हो सकता जिसकी जुबान से और उसके हाथ से उसका पड़ोसी महफूज नहीं हो, उस पड़ोसी में कोई भी हो। और इतना सख्त जुमला है ये कि वो मुसलमान ही नहीं हो सकता है कि जिसको किसी से तकलीफ पहुंचता हो। और मुसलमान का माने मिस्टर नो प्रॉब्लम होता है। जो इंसान अपने आप को अल्लाह के आगे सरेंडर कर दे वही मुसलमान है। और जो अल्लाह के आगे सरेंडर कर देगा वो मानवता को कभी तकलीफ नहीं पहुंचा सकता है, और अगर तकलीफ पहुंचाता है तो वो मुसलमान के नाम पर एक बदनुमा दाग है। इसलिए मुसलमान वो मुसलमान है जो मानवता को प्यार करे, जो इंसानियत को प्यार करे, जिसके प्यार के लिए रात हम लोग बैठे थे तो हमारे सूरी साहब एक वाकया बता रहे थे। हज़रत मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम का वाक़या बता रहे थे कि वो एक रास्ते से गुजरते थे और एक बूढ़ी औरत थी जो उनके सर पे कचरा डाल देती थी, दिन भर का कचरा जमा करके उनके सर पे डाल देती थी। डेली ये वाक़या होता था। एक दिन मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के सर पे वो कूड़ा नहीं डाला, कचरा नहीं डाला, तो मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने पता किया कि वो बूढ़ी माँ जो हमारे सर पे डेली कचरा डालती थी आज कचरा क्यों नहीं डाला। पता किया तो पता चला कि वो बीमार पड़ गई हैं। तो मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम गए उनसे खैरियत पूछने के लिए कि अम्मा आप कैसी हैं। उन्होंने कहा तुम कौन। तो मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने कहा कि अम्मा मैं वही हूँ जिसके सर पर आप डेली कचरा डालती थी, आज मेरे सर पे कचरा नहीं पड़ा और मैं मालूम किया तो पता चला आप बीमार है, तो मैं आपकी खैरियत पूछने आया हूँ। यही मुसलमान है और यही इस्लाम की तालीम है। इसके अलावा कोई शख्स दूसरी तालीम की तरफ जाता है, दूसरे तरीक़े की तरफ जाता है, तो वो सही में मुसलमान नहीं हो सकता है। मोहम्मद के तरीक़े से कदम जो भी हटाएगा कभी रास्ता ना पाएगा, कभी मंजिल ना पाएगा। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। खुदा हाफिज़। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
May I now request Swami Banananda Ji Maharaj from the Ramakrishna Math, Baranagar, to share his views with us.
Sri Ramakrishna has come for whom? He told there is different path, ways, faith, like stream, river, but ocean is one. So, I believe your Allah is my Sri Ramakrishna. Your Christ is my Sri Ramakrishna. My Ramakrishna is your Allah, your Christ, your Shiv, your Kali. So many students asking some questions. What is the solution? This is the only solution. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now may I request Chief Rabbi Ezekiel Maleka of Jurai Synagogue of New Delhi to kindly share his thoughts with us.
I am the last speaker. So like Swami Vivekananda ji, I take the privilege to address all of you as my dear brothers and sisters. At the outset, I would like to clarify that I have not come here to represent a particular community, that is Judaism, because when we say I am a Jew, I am a Hindu, I am a Christian, I am a Sikh and I am a Jain, so how can we say that there is a unity of diversity? So I am here as an Indian to represent all of you, because I always believed that we are Indians first and Jews second, because I believe in Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. The mother who gives you birth and the country where you are born are greater than the heaven. I say the prayer, not the Hebrew prayer or Judaism prayer, but I say the Kabir ka doha, राम रहीम में अंतर नाही, वह है सब हम सबका साई। राम रहीम में अंतर नहीं, वह है हम सबका साई। अपने प्रभु का नाम लिए जा, अपने खुदा को याद किए जा, सारा जग जिसकी परछाई, राम रहीम में अंतर नहीं। जीवन को संगीत बना ले, हर गम को गीत बना ले, काहे को अखियां भर आई, राम रहीम में अंतर नहीं। दूर खड़ा तू किसके डर से, मांग ले कुछ दाता के घर से, सबने मन की मुरादें पाई, राम रहीम में अंतर नहीं, वह है हम सबका साई। Today we are celebrating the 90th birth anniversary of Sri Satya Sai Baba, and I consider myself very fortunate that I was able to attend the last rites of Sri Satya Sai Baba, and thanks to my dear brother, Air Chief Marshal Nirmal Suriji, who could arrange, the flight for me, and I had been there and I recited my prayer. And what you must remember today, we are celebrating not his birthday, because he is in our heart every moment. And therefore it is said, जीवन ये ईश्वर की देन है, मृत्यु है समय की देन है, पर मृत्यु के बाद भी हमारे दिल में रहना वो कर्मों की देन है। तो आज सत्य साईं बाबा जी आज हमारे दिल में है, उनके कर्मों की देन है। आज का आने वाला युग, आने वाले हजारों वर्ष वो हमारे दिल में रहेंगे। उनका जो है सच्चा प्रेम है, उनकी मानवता का जो सेवा है, इसके लिए वो आज भी हमारे हृदय में है। Religion is like a rainbow. 7 colors of the rainbow, when it is merged, we get white color. We have 6 religions on the dais, and 7th is Sri Satya Sai Baba's religion of Manavta. So that we are missing. So 7 religions, cows are of different colors, but when we get milk of only white color. And what Swami Vivekananda ji said, follow one, respect all. You may be born in any religion, but you cannot die in it. What Sri Satya Sai Baba ji said, what is your religion? Religion is one, that is of love. What is prayer? Prayer is what you say from the heart, that is the language, one language. What is, how many caste? One caste, caste of humanity. And today's conference, unity of faith, I remember the words of Sri Satya Sai Baba ji. He said, not unity of faith, unity of divinity. Creation of the universal love. That is what today we have discussed. And Mahatma Gandhi ji also said that truth is my God and I would achieve it through the non-violence. एक बार इंसान ने कहा कोयल से कि कोयल तो कितना मधुर गाती है, पर तेरा रंग अगर काला नहीं होता तो कितना अच्छा होता। फिर उस इंसान ने गुलाब से कहा कि गुलाब तो कितना सुंदर है, फूलों का राजा है, तेरी जो है सुगंध कितनी मशहूर है, पर तुझमें अगर कांटे नहीं होते तो कितना अच्छा होता। फिर उसने सागर से कहा कि सागर तू कितना महान है, अगर तेरा पानी खारा नहीं होता तो कितना अच्छा होता। तो कोयल, गुलाब और सागर इकट्ठा से इंसान से बोले, हे इंसान, तुझमें दूसरों की बुराइयां निकालने की बुरी आदत नहीं होती तो कितना अच्छा होता। अब बच्चों ने बड़े प्रश्न किए हैं, उसका तो उत्तर मैं यही दूंगा बच्चों के लिए, क्योंकि मैं कलकत्ता आऊँ और मैं रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर को याद नहीं करूँ तो बड़ी नाइंसाफी हो जाएगी। तो उनकी एक कविता है गीतांजलि में गुरुवर्य रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर की, वो मैं आपको कहूँगा, आपके प्रश्नों का उत्तर उसी में मिल जाएगा। डू नॉट गो टू टेम्पल, टेम्पल मीन्स नॉट पर्टिकुलरली टेम्पल, मॉस्क, सिनेगॉग, चर्च, डू नॉट गो टू टेम्पल टू पुट द फ्लावर्स एट द फीट ऑफ गॉड. First fill your own house with the fragrance of love. Do not go to temple to light the lamp. First remove the darkness of sin from your heart. Do not go to temple to bow down in prayers before God. First learn how to bow down before your fellow men. Do not go to temple to bend upon your knees in prayers. First learn how to bend upon your knees to help the poor, the needy, the vulnerable sections of the society. Do not go to temple to ask for forgiveness, kshama yachana. First forgive those who have sinned against you. And to students I would like to say that one of the important commandments in the Bible is the 5th commandment, thou shalt honor thy father and mother. My request to students, please take care of your parents in their old age, and you are young, never lose temper, look after them, and if you have their blessings, there is no need for you to go to any place of worship. And having a failure is not a crime, but having a low aim is a crime. दूसरों के जिंदगी में अगर आप कुछ बन नहीं सकते तो कोई बात नहीं, पर कभी टूटो मत। दूसरों की नज़र में क्या लगते हो उसके बजाय आप अपने नज़र में कभी गिरना मत, ये हमेशा ध्यान में रखना। आखिर में यही कहूँगा मैं कि हम क्या बनाने आए थे, क्या बना बैठे, कई मंदिर बना लिया, कई मस्जिद बना ली। अरे हमसे तो अच्छे परिंदे हैं, कभी मंदिर पे बैठ जाते हैं, कभी मस्जिद पे बैठ जाते हैं। ना वो मंदिर को जानते हैं ना मस्जिद को जानते हैं, जो भूखे पेट होते हैं सिर्फ निवालों को जानते हैं। मेरे इसी अंदाज से लोग मुझसे खफा है कि मेरा चिराग हवा के खिलाफ क्यों जलता है। भाई मैं एक अमन पसंद आदमी हूँ, मेरे शहर के दंगे छोड़ दो, बस अपने आप को हरे और लाल में मत बांटो और मुझे मेरे घर के छत पर तिरंगा लहराने दो, तिरंगा लहराने दो। आखिर में सूरी साहब की इच्छा थी कि जैसे शंख बजाते हैं, ये इसको रैम्स हॉर्न बोलते हैं, शोफार, with a prayer to Almighty, let the peace prevail on this earth. ज्योत से ज्योत जगाते चलो, प्रेम की गंगा बहाते चलो, प्रेम की गंगा बहाते चलो।
Ladies and gentlemen, I conclude by saying that my prayers are to God that may each one of you continue to enjoy His benediction in the long years ahead, and may the sun never, ever set on your horizon.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात्। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Baul and Beyond is a concept that I started developing with my brothers here. It's basically showcasing the traditional folk music of India with a contemporary soundscape. I'd like to present for you now one of the greatest exponent of Baul music, the great Karthik Chandra Das. We are going to present a composition, we call it Baul and Beyond.
আমার জাগে আমার জাগে বল বল বাসনা না যাই তারে আমার অন্তরে রসের গৌর হেরে কি হলো সই আমার অন্তরে অন্তরে আমার অন্তরে
Satya Sai Baba has said that a golden age is coming when all mankind will live as one family. This coming golden age already lives within us as love.